The film begins by showing a troubled man named Whelan, who is seemingly about to harm his foster son, Cody. The reason behind this intense scene remains unclear, but the commotion wakes Cody and brings Whelan back to his senses. Several months after that incident, we are introduced to a married couple, Mark and Jesse Hobson, as they visit an orphanage in hopes of adopting a child. They are welcomed by the head administrator, Natalie Friedman, who presents them with a photo of an 8-year-old boy named Cody Morgan. Natalie encourages them to consider adopting Cody, explaining that the boy has not received much affection in his life. When Cody was only 3 years old, his biological mother passed away. Since then, he has been placed with several foster families, but each time the arrangement ended abruptly. Most families claimed they couldn't connect with him, and the last family even left him at the orphanage without providing a reason. Hearing all this, Jesse feels a deep sympathy for Cody. After a moment of consideration, the couple decides to welcome him into their home. Upon returning from the orphanage, Mark and Jesse prepare their house to receive Cody. Not long ago, they had tragically lost their only son, Sean, who had drowned in the bathtub. Since then, Jesse has been unable to have more children. She still struggles with the grief and is often haunted by memories of Sean. The pain of that loss continues to affect her deeply, especially in quiet, emotional moments. The next day, Natalie personally escorts Cody to the Hobson home. Mark begins to bond with the boy by showing him some of his video games, and later takes him upstairs to introduce him to his new bedroom. That evening, just before bed, Jesse sits beside Cody to chat and get to know him better. However, unknown to both Mark and Jesse, Cody doesn't fall asleep. Instead, he stays up all night reading books about butterflies, books he had brought with him from his previous foster home. The following morning, Mark drives Cody to school. During his first day, Cody introduces himself to the class and quickly befriends a girl named Annie. Later that afternoon, after school, Cody takes a bath. Still traumatized by the loss of Sean, Jesse waits by the bathroom door to ensure Cody is safe. While folding his clothes, she accidentally discovers a small box hidden among his belongings. Inside the box, she is surprised to find several cans of energy drinks and containers of sleep prevention pills. Curious and concerned, she gently asks Cody about them. Cody hesitates before explaining that he is afraid of what he calls the Canker Man, a mysterious figure he claims appears in his dreams. Jesse tries to comfort him by saying that bad dreams cannot physically hurt anyone.
Scary things go away when we understand them a little.
Not the Canker Man.
That night, after Cody falls asleep, Mark and Jesse are sitting in the living room when they are unexpectedly surprised by the sudden appearance of beautiful, glowing butterflies. Believing that the butterflies might have flown in through an open door, Jesse gets up to close it. But oddly enough, the butterflies vanish as quickly as they appeared. The strange occurrence leaves Jesse feeling restless, and she heads to the kitchen to take some sleeping pills. While there, she suddenly senses the presence of someone else. Shockingly, a shadowy figure known as the Canker Man briefly appears before her eyes. The next morning, Mark walks into the kitchen and finds Cody staring at a family photo. Cody curiously asks about the boy in the picture. Mark gently explains that it is a photo of Sean, their son who has passed away and now lives in heaven. That night, as Cody slowly begins to drift off to sleep, Mark and Jesse sit together in the living room, only to be startled again. This time, they see what appears to be Sean, standing completely still with a peaceful smile. Although it's hard to believe what they are seeing, Sean looks incredibly real. However, as soon as Cody is woken up, the image of Sean disappears.
I'm sorry.
The following morning, Cody apologizes for the dream he had the night before, promising it won't happen again. Mark and Jesse are confused by his words, unsure of what he means. Intrigued and slightly concerned, Mark begins to investigate further. He notices a butterfly illustration in one of Cody's books that looks exactly like the ones they saw in their living room. This discovery leads them to realize something astonishing. Cody possesses a remarkable ability. he can manifest his dreams into physical reality. That evening, Jessie invites Cody to watch old home videos of Sean. Her hope is that by helping Cody understand who Sean was, the next dream he creates will make Sean more lifelike, perhaps even able to speak. As predicted, that night Sean reappears. This time, just as he looked in the videos. However, something whispers to Cody in the dark, abruptly waking him. And once again, Sean vanishes. Still desperate to see Sean again, Jessie puts the family photo back on the wall, hoping to prompt Cody's dreams. She longs to see her son's image return, and she starts encouraging Cody to sleep more. But Cody, afraid of what his dreams might bring, tries to resist sleeping. Jessie, however, waits anxiously each night, hoping he will fall asleep and dream of Sean again. Mark, realizing Jessie's true intentions, becomes upset. He warns her that they should love Cody for who he is, not use him to bring back the past. He reminds her that Cody is just a child who deserves genuine care and support, not to be manipulated as a means of reviving their own memories. The next day at school, Cody is bullied by a classmate named Tate. Exhausted from staying up all night, Cody feels increasingly sleepy during lessons. Eventually, he dozes off during recess, and what follows will soon lead to a chain of terrifying events. Tate returns to bully Cody again. However, before he can do anything, the Canker Man appears and devours Tate alive. Witnessing the horrifying event, Annie immediately reports it to the police. Meanwhile, Cody, deeply frightened and fully aware of what happened to Tate, begs Jessie to take him home right away. Feeling responsible for what happened, Cody becomes overwhelmed with guilt. He decides to avoid sleeping altogether by drinking excessive amounts of coffee. One night, as he lies awake, he begins to hear strange noises from beneath his bed. When he checks under it, the ghostly image of Tate suddenly appears and tries to drag Cody down. Cody screams in terror, and his cries wake Jessie, who rushes to his side. The following morning, Jessie tells Mark what happened the night before. Concerned, Mark gently approaches Cody to comfort him and invites him out to buy some new things for his room. Jessie, who works as a nurse, grows worried because Cody hasn't slept for 2 days. She reaches out to a doctor friend and is given a prescription to help Cody rest. Later that day, after returning from shopping, Mark notices 2 police officers waiting in front of their house. The officers question Cody about Tate's disappearance. However, Cody is too scared and confused to provide any helpful information. With nothing to go on, the police leave. That evening, as Jessie prepares dinner, she quietly mixes the sleeping medication into Cody's drink. After Cody falls asleep, Sean once again appears in the living room, standing silently. Alarmed, Mark dashes upstairs to wake Cody, but Jessie stops him, saying Cody won't be waking up anytime soon. Suddenly, the Canker Man enters the house and begins making its way toward them. Before they can react, the creature attacks and consumes Mark right in front of Jessie. In her attempt to save him, Jessie is thrown across the room and loses consciousness. When Cody wakes up and realizes what's happening, he immediately calls the police. The authorities arrive soon after. During their investigation, they discover that Jessie had given Cody a strong sleep aid. As a result, the officers decide to return Cody to the care of the orphanage. Jessie is devastated. Filled with guilt and sorrow over what happened to Mark, she hopes to see Cody again. But Natalie, disappointed and heartbroken by Jessie's actions, refuses to allow her to visit Cody. Unwilling to give up, Jessie secretly accesses Cody's case file. There, she finds a list of his previous foster families. One name stands out: Whelan, the man from the opening of the film. Determined to find answers, Jessie tracks Whelan down at a mental health facility. She shares with him everything that happened with Cody and Mark. Whelan, however, is not surprised. He too had experienced the same phenomenon with Cody, and like Jessie, he had lost someone dear, his wife, who was also taken by the Canker Man. Whelan explains that the only way to stop Cody's nightmares is to end Cody's life, but Jessie refuses this solution and walks away, believing there must be another way. Meanwhile, Back at the orphanage, Natalie notices Cody has once again gone 2 days without sleeping. She grows increasingly concerned. After some time, as Cody finally dozes off, glowing butterflies begin to emerge once again, signals that his dreams are materializing into reality. At the same time, Jessie continues her investigation into Cody's background. She discovers the hospital where Cody's biological mother, Andrea Morgan, had once been treated. Jessie immediately heads there. Upon arrival, she learns that Andrea had passed away from cancer. Among Andrea's belongings, Jessie finds a small box containing a butterfly pillow and a diary. Convinced that these items may help calm Cody's dreams, she hurries back. When Jessie arrives at the orphanage, she is shocked to find the building overtaken by one of Cody's nightmares. The environment has completely transformed, dark, twisted, and filled with memories Cody can't let go of. All the people who were swallowed by the canker man are present, including Natalie. Jessie also finds herself reliving the moment of Sean's death, while the canker man begins to morph into representations of Cody's small, fractured family. As Jessie searches through the shadows, she manages to locate Cody. But just as she reaches for him, the canker man lunges at her, knocking her back. It prepares to attack again, its monstrous form looming closer. In a desperate moment, Jessie pulls out one of Andrea's belongings, an item from Cody's mother, and holds it up. The sight of the familiar object causes the canker man to hesitate. Slowly, the nightmare begins to shift. Cody's memories start to calm, and one by one, all those who had been trapped within the dream are finally set free. With the nightmare finally over, Jessie takes Cody home with her. The next morning, Jessie gives Cody the diary that once belonged to his mother. She shares with him what was written inside. Since the day Cody was born, Andrea had known about his special ability, the power to bring his dreams into reality. Although she loved him dearly, she struggled with fear about the things he might create. When Andrea fell terminally ill and knew she would no longer be able to care for him, she placed Cody in an orphanage, hoping he'd find a family who could help him. As her illness worsened, Cody, still very young, began to see his mother change in ways he couldn't understand. Over time, his memories of her began to fade, and those fading memories took shape as the terrifying figure he called the Canker Man. In truth, the Canker Man was not a monster, but a manifestation of Cody's own grief and fading recollections of his dying mother. Now, understanding the source of Cody's fear and power, Jessie embraces him with genuine love. She has finally come to fully accept him, not because of his abilities, but for who he is. Cody is no longer just a foster child in her eyes. He is her son. And with that, the film ends.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Because by subscribing, you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.